At Humor That Works, a company that I run, we believe that anyone can learn to be funnier, right? That you can learn to
Hmm.
improve whatever your base level of funny is right now better. Does that mean that people are going to go through one of our programs or watch one YouTube video or read one book, even by whoever it is that wrote it, or take Amy Poehler's masterclass, that kind of stuff, and immediately have a Netflix comedy special waiting for them? No. But does it mean that anyone can learn some of these dynamics of humor to get better? Absolutely. Right? It's a skill, which means it can be learned. And I liken it in some ways to learning a language. Right? I think anyone can learn a second language or more about a language. And some people learn that language through osmosis, right? Like they just grew up around funny people, or they grew up around people speaking that language and they never studied it, but they just learned it because it was the environment that they're in. They had a model that they could
Hmm.
look at. They watched a bunch of comedy shows, or they really love stand up or whatever, and they just kind of picked up those things. Or you can do it much more deliberately. And I'm one of those people that had to do it deliberately. I'm not a quote unquote naturally funny person, to the point that
Hmm.
even though I've done over 1,000 stand up and improv shows, have a dry bar comedy special, the TEDx talk with a bunch of views, all that kind of stuff, despite all of those kind of accolades in the world of comedy, when people from my high school, who I went to high school with, found out that I did comedy, they're like, but you're not funny. Like growing up, I was never the life or the party of the class clown. Like I was the
Sure.
teacher's pet. This was all a
Hmm.
learned skill for me later. And that's very much kind of the crux of what I teach on is what is that skill of humor as an engineer? If we take it apart, what does it look like? How do we put it back together
Yeah.
again? And so, yeah, again, does that mean that everyone's going to be absolutely hysterical and nail it every single time? No. But does it mean that you can
Right.
learn some of the science of humor and then practice the
Yeah.
art part of it and get better? 100%.